I remember the day I had to decide whether to stay or go. My boss had left, moved to a new company, and she invited me to come with her. On paper, there was no reason for me not to say yes. But yet, I had built something where I was, a reputation, relationships, a track record with people that I knew. And she was asking me to leave all of that behind and start over with people who never heard my name. The fear was loud. What if I lose everything that I have worked so hard for? What if they don't see me the way my current colleagues do? What if I'm making a mistake? If you ever stood at a crossroads like that, if you've ever had the two voices pulling you in opposite directions and had no idea which one to trust, this is for you. Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Maria Martinez and this is the Inner Authority Project. And here we do the real work of learning to trust again in midlife and beyond. And today I would like to give you a practical tool, something that you can absolutely use next time you find yourself at one of those crossroads. And I call it the Inner Authority Project Discernment Check. 3 questions, that's it. 3 questions that will help you tell the difference between your intuition and your fear in real time. If you're ready, let's get into it. Here's a framework, and the first thing you need to know. Intuition and fear can feel similarly in the moment. They both show up when something important is at stake. They both have opinions about what you should do and what you should not do. They both feel urgent, but they are fundamentally different. And your body and your mind already know how to know them apart. So here are the questions that I'd like for you to consider when you are at that crossroad and need to determine, is this fear or if this is my gut, my intuition speaking. The first question is, where do you feel it in your body? That's the first question in the discernment check. And most people skip it entirely because we have been trained to live from the neck up. However, our body is the first place where truth shows up. Fear tends to live in our chest and our throat. We feel it tight, constricted, sometimes even breathless. It has a sense of bracing, like you're preparing for impact. Intuition, on the other hand, lives lower in our gut, in our solar plexus, sometimes even in our whole torso. It's not always comfortable, but it has a different quality. Not like bracing, but more like landing. When I thought about following my boss to that new company, that fear was up here in my chest, my head, racing, catastrophizing, arguing. And when I got quiet, when I stopped listening to the argument, and I just noticed what my body already knew, there was this weird sense of settling, like something was finally clicking into place. That's not nothing, that's information. So question 1, where do you feel it? Question number 2, what is it asking you to do? This is where it gets crystal clear because fear and intuition have very different agenda. Fear contracts. It wants you to retreat, to protect, to stay small, to stay safe. Its entire job is to keep you safe from threats, even if those threats are just unknown. Intuition, on the other hand, expands. It moves you towards something. It has direction. Fear says, don't go. Intuition says, this way. Fear is reactive. Intuition is generative. Now, here's the important nuance. Sometimes fear is right. Sometimes staying might be the wise choice. But notice the quality of the message. Fear usually comes with a list of worst case scenarios. It builds a whole case. It brings evidence, it argues. Intuition rarely argues, it just knows. Mine didn't say, here are the 5 reasons this is absolutely not going to work out, Maria. It said, it's the right move. Full stop. So question 2, what is it asking you to do? And does it come with an argument or just a knowing? And question number 3, does it get louder or quieter when you get still? That, my friend, is the most reliable test I know, because fear is noise. And like all noise, it needs stimulation to survive. Feed it more information, more worst case thinking, more scrolling, more talking, and what happens? It gets louder and louder. But if you get quiet, fear often starts to dissolve. Or at the very least, it starts to sound less certain. Intuition is the opposite. The more still that you get, the clearer it becomes. It doesn't need the noise. It doesn't need you to keep analyzing every possible scenario. It's been there the whole time, waiting for you to stop long enough to hear it. When I sat quietly with that decision, away from opinions from others, away from the pro and cons list, away from the fear, the answer didn't get louder. It just got cleaner, simpler, more certain. That's intuition. So question 3, when you get still, does the voice get louder or quieter? So here's the discernment check in full. Number 1, where did you feel it in your body? If it's the chest and throat, that's fear. If you feel it in your gut and your center, that's intuition. Question number 2, what is it asking you to do? If it's asking you to retreat with an argument, fear. If it asks you to move forward with a knowing, you know that's intuition. Number 3, does it get louder or quieter when you stay still? If it's louder, you know that's fear. If it gets cleaner and quieter, you know that's intuition. You don't have to use them all at once. Even one of those questions might be all that you need to find the confidence and the certainty to know, I can trust myself. Sometimes just one is enough. But having the framework gives you something to reach for when you're in the middle of so much noise and you just cannot find exactly which of the voices to trust. Here's what I want to say before we close. The reason why this matters so much after we turn 50 is not just because decisions get bigger, although they do. It's because most of us have spent decades outsourcing the discernment to other people, to our partners, to our bosses, to our parents, to the culture, the right answer, to what we're supposed to do. And now at this stage, in our 50s and 60s, this is the time to come back to ourselves. The knowing, the real, the valid you, that voice that is worth listening to. The career move I made, it was one of the best decisions in my professional life. Not because it was easy, and not because there was no fear, but because I learned the difference and chose to trust what was underneath. Before you go into the rest of your day, I want you to think about one decision that you have been sitting with. Not the biggest one, maybe just one, and run it through the discernment check. Just the first question, where do you feel it? And just notice. You don't have to act right now, but you don't need to pretend that you don't know anymore. Just take action. Tell me in the comment section. And if you're ready, I want you to download my Jumpstart Guide, which I'm going to put the link in the comment section, and I want to hear from you. I look forward to seeing you on our next video. Dr. Maria Martinez, saying goodbye for now.